Good morning, everybody. Even in public safety, there are new horizons, and maintaining safety and security in Bermuda is a challenge that this government continues to meet with robust support for the police. And as this throne speech demonstrates, by embracing innovative methods of delivering for the people, the creation of a full-time Bermuda regiment will capitalize on the existing nucleus of key professionals that are presently full-time employees. Ending conscription is a nod to the change in role for the regiment that this government will continue to devise in consultation with all affected parties. This is a change whose time has come and which forms part of a wider strategy to complement the hard work of the police, to strengthen the role of border control, and to realize a more efficient means of keeping Bermuda safe. Concurrent with our plan to eliminate conscription, I have agreed with His Excellency the Governor that a review of Bermuda security and defense services should be conducted. Bermuda security and defense agencies include the Bermuda Police Service, the Bermuda Regiment, the Bermuda Fire and Rescue Service, Her Majesty's Customs, Border Control, and Marine and Ports. Often, there are overlaps in some of the security and defense areas covered by these agencies. While this overlap can be justified by necessary technical or jurisdictional factors, financial prudence dictates that these services be reviewed to ensure there is no expensive duplication of capital investment or rules. With the regiment poised to assume an increased maritime security role and several other services in need of new equipment, it is appropriate that a review now be conducted to determine what Bermuda needs to continue to be well equipped to deal with both man-made and natural threats and challenges. The scope of the review will be to determine what Bermuda's security and defense requirements are, what is needed in terms of personnel and equipment to meet those requirements, and what organizational structures are needed to do this. The review should take account of the real technical, practical, and legal needs of Bermuda security arrangements. Additionally, those conducting the review should be able to think radically and to some extent independently of institutional inclinations to minimize change or jurisdictional borderlines. It is proposed that the review be conducted by a committee consisting of a civilian chairperson, the deputy governor, the secretary of national security, and representatives from each of the uniformed services. Once named, I expect the committee to produce its report and recommendations within 6 months. Every ministry has a role to play in reviewing the prosperity of Bermuda. National security will do its part by continuing to streamline immigration practices, opting for technology and user-friendliness every time. In the first instance, we are actively working to reduce the turnaround time for the production of Bermuda passports. I'm confident we can get the time down to a working week, say 5 to 6 days. To produce a passport is achievable, and I have challenged the immigration team to work towards this. For our guest workers and business visitors, the process of reducing the red tape has already begun. Several kinds of work permits are no longer paper, but are easy to carry, card size, with machine-readable capability. We will continue to work towards a paperless system within the area of border control. The ideals expressed in this throne speech also provide me with the opportunity to announce the fulfillment of an important promise made in the area of border control. Last week's official gazette carried a notice that will bring into existence the red-green system at LF Wade International Airport. With effect from the 19th of November, arriving passengers will have the option of using a green or nothing to declare line This will benefit Bermudians and returning residents as well as making the airport experience easier and faster for our business travelers. We promised it, and on the 19th of November, it will be delivered. The cynicism of this season cannot be allowed to put a damper on ideas, progress, or vision. Public safety knows no party affiliation, and so our work must cross party and constitutional lines. Through the Ministry of National Security, this government enjoys a relationship of strong, functional cooperation with Government House, the police, and private sector partners, to whom these issues are of importance. And this partnership will be maintained and grown. The people of Bermuda recognize this, and it is reflected in the increasing trend of community satisfaction with the police and crime-fighting efforts. We will continue to support the police as they earn the confidence of the community through their increasing record of results. The quality of life our people enjoy and the continued confidence in Bermuda as a jurisdiction of choice rests on the foundation of public safety. This government has a strong record in this area, and the vision set out in this 2012 throne speech clearly details our commitment to keeping Bermuda safe. Thank you.
The issue of the right to make arrests and prosecutions lies with the police primarily. Can you see that being expanded?
Could you expand on that?
With your review team and looking at various ways of bringing people together, like at the moment soldiers do not have the right to arrest.
Oh yes, I see what you're saying. In changing the regiment rule, you're asking the question, will things such as powers of arrest, etc., change? That wouldn't necessarily follow, because we are trying to bring together, join up border control unit. And in looking across the agencies such as police, customs, immigration, and regiment, we would have to necessarily change some legislation, yes.
Do you know of any other country in the world that's put all those border units together as you described it?
I believe if you look at Jamaica very rapidly and look at the defense force there, certainly their rule changed when they, dealt with the gang activities there. But I do believe, especially on conscription, I think Malta and a few other places, have models of a similar.
National Guard.
Yes, similar processes. Yes.
Would you be prepared to listen to that idea?
Of a National Guard? I suppose you're using an American term, but I would think that the National Guard is a part-time unit. We're thinking of going full-time with an organization that look more like a defense force, as you see in the Caribbean and Jamaica.
How will a full-time force be funded?
We don't intend to carry the same complement of officers of regiment personnel that we have now, but an expansion of the full-time group. And I believe it would look like maybe about 100 people. I was told, I'm not a strict military man, the size of about a company of full-time officers would not significantly stretch our budget far from what it looks like now.
The question is, do you table a bill this Friday, the amended Defense Act?
Yes.
Which increases penalties for people in disobey arrest orders and extends the age for conscription. Yet you also talk about ending conscription. Isn't this sending mixed messages?
I'm not certain about extending the age of conscription. I mean, speaking generally to that bill, I think what it did was bring it in line with European Convention and certainly the British forces. It got rid of gender discrimination in particular in its verbiage and the way the act is constructed. It also provided for trial of miscreants in the regiment by a magistrate's court. But it's their choice. They have an option now rather than going in front of a military tribunal. With the penalties, I think they're more brought in line with docking of, say, a day's pay, a bounty, whatever. So it tended to reflect penalties that wouldn't be outside of what a regular soldier would make. So they would probably lose whatever they had earned through the regiment.
It still deals with people, change the regime for people actually conscripted.
You're saying that it changes people's conditions under conscription.
Right.
Yes, you're right. It does not. We have not changed that regime of having conscription embodied in the Act, and that's what we will seek to phase out over time. Yes, you're correct on that. It's under the framework that exists.